Hey y'all, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. Today I have a look at some springtime polishes being offered from Nail Polish Direct. These polishes were sent to me for review and they are available over in their store right now. This is a UK based brand, but they do ship to the US among other places. So what I have today is not necessarily a full collection beyond the nails ink, but some polishes that are really going to get you pumped for a springtime. So today I have a little bit of Mavala, some nails ink, and then Orly as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the Orly today. This first polish is called Lovella. This is described simply as a nude cream. I think the pictures online are a little bit misleading. It almost makes it look like this has some shimmer to it. It's not. It's a flat cream. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to apply it today for me on my natural nails. So here's a look at that first easy coat. First off, huge fan of the Orly brush. It is nice and wide and rounded, and the formula of this cream is amazing. For a nude, it was almost completely opaque in just one coat. I did have some low spots though, however, so I had to go ahead and go in for a second coat. Two coats is enough to get this polish completely opaque. So here's a look at that completed mani at two coats before a glossy top coat, and then quickly from a different angle. Super in love with it, very light. It does have some touches of pink in it, which help kind of nullify the red in my skin. So this is my final swatch photo at an angle underneath artificial lighting. So the other polish I have today from Orly is just Peachy, and this polish is described, of course, as a bold and bright peach cream. This is kind of on the like bleached neon side as well. It's very bright but still pastel. I'm going to go ahead and show you how it's swatched today for me on my natural nails. So here's the look at that first easy coat. A little bit of streaking, not much at all. Really good opacity there. I am going to go ahead and go in for a second coat, and two coats is going to bring this polish completely opaque. These do dry down nice and glossy, so I can't say anything really negative about it. This almost gives me a little bit of a tan vibe too, so I love it. So that is a look at that completed mani at two coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting. And you can find the rest of the Orly Radical Optimism Collection 2019 on the Nail Polish Direct website. So next I'm going to move on to the Mavala polishes. I was not aware that Mavala made nail polish. I did know about their other product, the Mavala Stop, which I have used in my own life. So girls, if you're a nail biter or you have issues with your fingers or anything like that, you may want to look into it. Really, really worked well for my family. So this is Cacao, and it's described as a deep chocolatey brown. I think the formula is amazing. The little bottles are super cute. The price point is nice on the wallet because the bottles are a little bit smaller. Two coats is all I needed for complete opacity. It does have a very light shimmer in there as well, which is super, super pretty. So here is a look at that completed mani at two coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting. This one feels very mature to me and almost like workplace appropriate. So here's a look at that completed mani once more with the bottle, so you can see how tiny the little bottle is. Super, super cute. And then this is my final swatch photo. So I have one more polish from Mavala to share with you today. This is Jodhpur, and this is described as a deep sea blue. So I was a little bit worried about this polish staining. It is a blue, and they're kind of notorious for that, but I didn't have any issues with this one. This polish feels just a little bit more juicy than the brown, so it is one that I'm going to have to build up a little bit so you can see a good amount of my visible nail line there. I'm going to go ahead and let that dry down and then show you how it built up for me with a quick second coat. I did get closer to my cuticle off camera. I know you guys hate that, but I didn't see it from that angle. But two coats is pretty much completely opaque. If you wanted to go in for that third, you most definitely could. So here is a look at that completed mani at two coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting. And then this is a quick view from another angle with that tiny baby bottle. And then this is my final swatch photo. So the rest of the Mavala Solaris 2019 collection is available on the Nails Direct website. So next up, I have a look at some nails ink polishes. These are the new Nail Pure 2019 Spring Collection. So first I'm going to start with a More Self-Love Please. So this polish is described as a warm, vibrant red. It is showing up super bright on camera here. It is a little bit more understated, but it is a gorgeous watermelon red. So here's a look at that first and second coat. This one is a little bit juicy as well, so this is really going to depend on 2 or 3 coats on your personal preference. You can still see I love a little flash of visible nail line there, so I think for this one I would go in for that third coat, but it does give you that kind of juicy vibe, which is trending right now with all of the jellies. Here's a look at that completed mani at 2 coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting. So next up I have a Womanger, and this is another polish from the Nail Pure 2019 collection. So this one is super, super bright, almost on the edge of being a neon orange. I'm going to go ahead and show you how it's swatched today for me on my natural nail. So here's a look at that first easy coat. These go on so smooth and easy. Nails Inc does have that wider brush, which I love as well. With this one, I did have a good amount of visible nail lines. I'm going to go ahead and go in for a second coat and show you what that looks like. 2 coats is going to build up that opacity and add some depth. I did still have some visible nail lines, so I did opt to go in for a third coat for this one, which I really recommend. 3 coats is going to push it closer to the edge of being completely opaque. I think with this one it is pretty well there. So here is a look at that completed mani. Add 3 coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting. And then really quickly from a different angle with the bottle. The bottle is super classy and minimalist. I love it. And then this is my final swatch photo at an angle underneath artificial lighting. So next up I have Woke Dreams, and this is described as a mellow grass green. It is pulling up a little bit jade on my camera, so it is not as cool toned as it's showing here. Still a really pretty polish. So here's a look at that first easy coat. Again, this one is a little bit on the sheer side. I'm going to go ahead and build that up with a quick second coat. 2 coats is going to add some depth. I think it's going to depend really on how heavy your hand is as well. I tend to go in for thicker coats and just give it a little bit more dry time. You can do that with these polishes. They're not going to pull on you at all. So here is a look at that completed mani at 2 coats before a glossy top coat underneath my artificial lighting. And then really quickly with the bottle. Again, it is a little bit more jade on camera. So this is my final swatch photo at an angle. The last polish from the Nail Pure Spring 2019 collection is It's Cool To Be Kannan, and this is a very soft, very light lavender polish. Again, it is fairly sheer. 1 coat makes for a really clean slate, but it is, again, a good amount of visible nail line left there. So a second coat does build up that finish and add some depth. It's not completely opaque for me though, so I am going to go ahead and let that dry down and then show you how it built up for me with a third and final coat for today. 3 coats does bring this polish completely opaque. I think of all of the polishes I've shown today, this is going to be my second favorite. Very light and clean and so appropriate for spring. So here's a look at that completed mani at 3 coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting, and then really quickly with the bottle there. So what you get on the nails is definitely what you get from the bottle. And then this is my final swatch photo at an angle underneath that artificial lighting. So that does wrap up my swatch and review of some of the spring polishes available right now from Nail Polish Direct. They of course do offer so much more. I definitely do recommend hopping over to the website and checking everything out. Again, they do offer US as well as I believe worldwide shipping. I'll have to double check on that, so definitely check them out. If you'd like to see more, you can also follow me on Instagram at Sloppy Swatches. So thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.